mind your business.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, everyone, and thank you for joining me for another night's episode of Instagram Live interviews. And tonight we have media maven Neema Skye. She's a true queen, and I'm really excited to get to pick her brain and get to know her tonight. Hi, Callie. Hi, Nails. How are you all doing tonight? How is everyone doing tonight? So I'm going to quickly send out this live to her. I can't see the screen, so if she's in here, I'm sorry. And how are you guys doing? How's your week? It's Friday Junior. Outside seems like it's opening back up. How have you guys been? Anything cool, fun, exciting, new, event? What's on your guys' mind tonight? That's good. That's something positive. I'm doing okay as well. Happy to hear that. So, there she is. So let's get her in here. Okay. Neema, the social media is telling me that something like you must upgrade the app, or I'm not sure where you're logged on, but it's not allowing me to add you in, so I'm not sure if you're able to log out and log back in, but it's basically showing me that something about upgrading the app in order for you to join, but that's okay. David said, I hate this one human in my class. Oh my gosh, what's happening in your class? Oh, that's the only thing with like school. You have to deal with so many personalities, and you're just stuck like within that space with the person. But you know how that goes. R.I.P. Nip. We always salute a true king. While I'm waiting for Miss Neema to get in here, but I hope whatever the situation is, Demon, that you find a way to like not get into much trouble and focus on what you went to school to do in the first place. Just get your paper and excel. Okay. I'm happy to hear that. It's not easy, but I'm really happy to hear that. Did you have dinner already for the night? I had some yummy Caribbean food for dinner. Okay, bye. Have a great night, love. There we go.
And mind your business.
So, hi Hayes, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, it's still connecting. I cannot see your face at all.
It's giving me,
Okay, can you see me now?
Yes, I can see you. You look stunning, you look gorgeous. We made it.
Thank you. I'm like, wait, let me pull this down just a little bit. I'm just like, I feel like you can just see literally like, okay, here we are.
That is okay.
How are you?
Tonight?
Can you see me? You need me to sit back a little bit?
No, you look great. If you want,
okay.
You can tilt it down, but it's not a huge deal. Like, it still see your whole face.
Okay, perfect.
Matters. Oh, that's excellent. That's actually
perfect.
Hey!
You
know, like those people you feel like you know them forever, but you don't know them at all?
Yeah, listen, it's just the vibe, you know, like when you vibe with somebody, you guys have that same energy. It's like you've known them all along, like your entire life.
But Queen, tonight is all about you, and I was just kind of bragging to everyone kind of popping in and out here tonight that like I just really love seeing women like yourself and what you've been doing, and you've been killing it. And I remember last year when like this all first started, and I think that's when I first started following you, but like you were on the red carpet doing your thing, you were killing it, you were like speaking, like you just hairstyles, outfits, charismatic, like the whole package. So media maven, we do not use that hi Adriel, how are you doing tonight? We don't take that comment lightly. So hi Queen, how are you doing tonight? So let's talk about you. You know, I want to start because this is the first time we're really getting to like chop it up. And downtown, don't waste no time with negativity. Let's just start it off from the jump. what is a situation where, Neema, you could definitely say it was like negative, and somehow, some way, you found a way not to waste any time with negativity?
I mean, oh gosh. I feel like we all have those moments in life where, you know, we are all faced with different challenges that could seem very negative. I mean, even with, you know, going through things back with the pandemic, I feel like we were kind of all in a space where we felt like like the lights were shut out. And it seemed almost like it was a negative situation because it was just like, well, we don't, you know, being in a space where things are always constantly going, and then you get in a spot where there's silence and it seems like everything is dead. You know, you do kind of have that moment where either you can make it a negative situation and you just kind of like just dwindle down, or you can use that as something to empower you. And I think like last year, I was mainly working for Black Hollywood Live and AfterBuzz TV, and like I was doing red carpet. I was just everywhere. So you know, being out working, and it was just like, oh my God, I was just all the time, you know, just being able to be like in the spotlight of hosting and actually being at the studio. And I literally like, I was kind of sitting there thinking to myself like, okay, I don't know when we're going to get back in the studio. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it took me some time to kind of get, to kind of get with it. Because of course we were still doing some lives, but like from home, but then it's just like, we just completely shut down. So I had to take the opportunity to say, listen, just because something shuts off, it does not mean that your light and your talent is just going to go down. So I pretty much use that situation to allow me to build my own platform, because sometimes, you know, we can be in a space and you're thinking that, you know, you're building that, you know, for somebody else, but it's like, you were here, you've learned all these different tools and everything that you know about what you're doing to be able to use it for your platform. And then, you know, for people to be able to see your light on your own thing, you know, because you can do something for somebody else all your life. But it's like, until you have something on your own, it's, you know, it's just way different. So again, the negative was, you know, like just sitting here waiting for an opportunity, but I just took matters into my hand, and I just created my own lane, you know. And I mean, I'm definitely still growing, but I think the biggest thing is getting started and staying consistent and, you know, getting into it. So that's the best thing that I could tell you about turning a negative situation into something positive.
No, I love that. And that's real, because a lot of like the ladies I've had the opportunity of speaking with, it was things like that. But I was so happy to see you come out with your own platform and use all of your skills, like you said, whether it's editing, being able to speak on current events, like the way your angle of speaking about it. And it was just like, sis, we can use this towards what we have, build your empire, and like continue to grow, right? Meanwhile, still doing it for others, because of course we have to get paid. But you know what I mean?
Listen, money does not grow on trees. So yes, absolutely.
But I love that, and I want to not to dive in so early, but like, what really motivated you to start? And I want to get the name of your. Is it the? No, it's not. No. The Queen. No. I have the name of your show. All that talk with Neema Skye. Yes.
Thank
you. So all that talk with Neema Skye. And what inspired you to just start that show? I know you said with quarantine and everything, but like, what really inspired you to be like, okay, this is the way I'm going to like put my skills to use during this time?
You know what's so funny? I feel like I'm a super multifaceted person. I've never been the person who just likes to do just one particular thing, right? And there's so many different aspects to what I do. So I wanted to create a platform where I could be able to have media, beauty, all of the different things that I feel like I'm a host and an expert at, and be able to put it into one platform. So that was the original reason why I started it. But as I continue, you know how sometimes you have a vision for one thing, and it's like, as you start going, you realize, oh, wait a minute, this is a bigger picture. So what I wanted to do was be able to create a platform to be able to talk about Black culture and things that are happening in Black news that are actually positive. I feel like a lot of times we get so much information, and I mean, it's news, it's media. Of course, whether it's good or bad, but I wanted to use my platform to be able to capitalize on those positive things and those great things that are happening, and be able to uplift those of us who are in Black culture, and be able to talk about it from a perspective where, you know, we can uplift. And I also created that too because I love to be an inspiration to me. Ever since I was a young girl, I was always doing things to be able to inspire, motivate, or giving compliments. Like I've always been that person. And so I've had so much wisdom and things that I've learned, you know, through my own journey. So I actually have a journal that I have, and I write things down, and I'm just like, well, you know what? How about I'll take this into a form and be able to talk to people, you know, on my YouTube show. So yeah, I mean, you know, even though I talk about media and current events that are happening in Black culture and also entertainment, I still want to take the opportunity to be able to uplift and be able to motivate. So that was, you know, part of the reason why I wanted to be able to, you know, create that, because it's all that talk. You're not just talking about one thing, you know, you're talking about media, you're talking about, you know, because I am a media girl, talking about media, I'm talking about life. And, you know, I do have some other aspects of what I want to be able to bring into the show, but I think now I'm just trying to be able to build my audience and get them used to what it is that I'm talking about. And then eventually, you know, I'm going to invite some guests, and, you know, I am a Southern girl, so I like to cook.
Hey.
I am a makeup girl, you know, so I like to do makeup, and I just want to, you know, be able to bring some other women that I know who are doing some great things, and also, so, you know, some other men as well. So I wanted to uplift, and if you notice right there, it is Women's Month, so I wanted to take the opportunity to be able to, you know, represent and talk about some women, you know, who people may not know from, you know, a mass perspective. I wanted to take my platform and be able to honor them, and also be able to speak about great things that they're doing. So
I love that. No. And one of the things that I love about you and keeps me like followed on your page and engaged, honestly, is just like you give like this favorite cousin vibe to me. Like, you know, that cousin that you like, you super love, that's your favorite cousin. Like, you can't wait to link up with that cousin. Yes. They always like, they might let you into your room and let you take something home. Like, seriously.
Yes.
And I'm like, to have that effect on people is so amazing, especially when doing carpets and things. So to translate into your own like show, absolutely, is beautiful to witness.
Thank you.
Though you make it look easy, the visuals look great. You know,
thank you.
I am subscribed to the channel. What are the things that people don't see, and you realize that it's not as easy as it is building your own platform?
First of all,
because I could go on for days, but
listen, okay, the editing and the taping is one thing, but it's almost like, you know, whenever I'm taping, sometimes the takes, it's almost like literally trying to film a movie, you know, and the director is telling you to do this scene and you have to do it like 50 million times. Like, I can be in the middle of, you know, speaking and, you know, talking, and then if I say something wrong, or if like something is off, or the energy is, you literally have to be engaged 100%, like from start to finish. And at any time you say something wrong, you mispronounce something wrong, your energy's a little off, you literally have to start all over. So I think you know, the biggest thing that people don't see is that, you know, again, even though it's not live, but I am literally recording and I'm not stopping. Like, I'm not editing to where like, okay, well, she said this and then she stopped and came. No, I'm literally going straight through as if like it's a straight, you know, full live show.
That's not easy at all.
That is not easy. But again, I think that the reason why I do it that way is because I'm so used to hosting live. So it's, you know, and this is what I want to do first in my life. So it's just like, I have to be able to train myself, you know, whenever I'm not in that setting, to be able to do it, so that, you know, once I'm able to do it full time, or, you know, I'm actually in a situation where I'm on the red carpet, because a lot of times you don't even have time to say anything. You just have to go, you know? So, I mean, the biggest thing is, I would probably say the takes. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I have been doing it for maybe like 45 minutes and I was doing a great job, and then I had to start all over because maybe like something was off, or maybe I turned to the back and my sign was off, or maybe it's just very, you know, very, very, you know, details, those small details that sometimes, like, if you're not very careful, it could just ruin the entire thing, you know? So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I tell people: listen, you have to be very patient with yourself, you know, and after doing it for so long, sometimes, you know, you need water, anything could happen, you know, you may need to re-blot. It's just, so much. But I think probably the biggest thing would probably be the takes. The takes is, oof.
It's
It
a
takes a
lot.
lot. It
It's
takes a lot.
But
But you know, the technology is actually easy for me because I mean, now like you can do things on your phone, you can do it on your computer. Like there's so many different avenues of where you can be able to edit. I think for me, the editing is probably the easiest part. I've gotten to the point where it maybe only takes me maybe like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. But the editing, I'm a master.
Really
but
timing.
Dealing with the takes, yeah, that's probably the biggest part.
That is really great timing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So are you open to sharing tools that you use that maybe can help other people that are joining in, that are maybe like, because a lot of people, that's what they've been doing, starting a channel, trying to build their audience and have it somewhere so that like in case this happens again or when like it's never going to go back to normal, they have something for themselves, you know, building their own table.
I think the biggest part of building your own table is just understanding who you are and just knowing what it is that something that's very unique about you. I mean, everybody has like their own platform. People have, you know, different things that, you know, that like they're great at and experts. But I think that once you kind of tap into what that is, whatever talent or gift, it could be music or it could be, you know, you like cooking, you know, so you want to be able to start a cooking show. I like to say there's always a niche in what you do. So once you find that niche, that very, you know, creative, different thing that maybe nobody else is doing, because everybody has 50 million cooking shows. But what about if you have a cooking show where you have it's, you know, you and your friends, you know, and everybody, you know, she's cooking vegan, you know, you're cooking soul food. I don't know. I'm just coming up with different ideas, you know, and it's just like, okay, because everybody's seen a million cooking shows, but it's like you have to find a way first to be able to figure out like what's your unique way of being able to build this platform, because that's what people are going to know you for like years from now. You know,
what's your thing?
I'm old and gray. People are going to be like, oh, that's that girl that did all that talk. She was talking media. She's talking this. So it's like they're not even going to really think about it. So it's like, think about how you want people to remember you in your talent, right? Because everybody has to have a signature. So, you know, once you figure that out, you know, you figure out like what platform. I personally like YouTube because I feel like it's a platform where, you know, you can be able to just dump it on there. People can be able to watch it whenever they get ready to. And the cool thing is that depending upon what type of things you use, I mean, honestly, you can be able to use it on your phone. You know, you can be able to edit. They have iMovie. There's Premiere, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro. I'm trying to think of some other really, really good editing softwares. Those are probably like the three biggest ones, you know, and those are all of those you can honestly be able to download on your phone. I'm not a big Android person, but you know, in terms of editing, no, I'm sorry, and no offense to anybody that has an Android, no shade. I've always been an iGirl all day, every day. I've always loved Apple products. So as far as the editing, that, you know, that's what I would use. And then the thing about YouTube is that after you get a certain amount of subscribers and followers, then you can be able to start getting advertisements and you can be able to start getting money. And, you know, a lot of times I've seen people who have, you know, national talk shows or TV shows that, you know, that have actually come from these types of platforms that you do. So, and, you know, even with using IG actually kind of, well, you can actually take some of the videos and be able to translate those and put those onto YouTube. So, but that's pretty much what I use.
Just out of curiosity, because full disclosure, I've been struggling a bit with figuring that out. Is that something like you hold a stash, or how have you been transferring your videos from IGTV like to YouTube?
No, you're fine. It depends on how you shoot it. So what you want to do is that instead of having your phone the long way, you want to kind of put it like, film it from like this side, from, I think it's horizontal.
No, I get you saying horizontally.
Yeah, so you want to do it like horizontally. So once you film it from horizontally, I think what happens is, because a lot of times if you film it the long way, what'll happen is that whenever you put it and upload it onto YouTube, you're going to have this little blank space on the side. So if you flip the phone over horizontally, you can be able to film it that way. And, you know, whenever you're talking, then you can be able to take that and be able to upload it onto. Or what you could do honestly is you can still be able to film it this way, but if you have it on the side, they actually do have some templates that you can be able to use. You can put it on the side with your logo, and then you can be able to upload it onto YouTube. So I would probably, I'm trying to think, a lot of the templates that they have, honestly, Canva.com is a really, really good resource. I mean, Canva, you can make your logo, you could do your YouTube art there, which is, I mean, I actually use Canva a lot.
Yeah, me
YouTube,
too.
logo, anything you can think of,
Everything,
flyer. I mean, you can even do an album cover. Seriously.
Seriously.
You know, also, I use a lot of the Adobe products too. I use Premiere. I use Lightroom. Those are some of the resources that I normally use to be able to create my content.
So what inspired you to want to talk about like mainly current events, or just like be a part of this world in general? Like, why did you want to be an accountant or a teacher, or like, I don't know, a track star? Like, what led you to this path in life?
Honestly, it's so interesting. I've always wanted to be entertainment. A entertainer ever since I was a little girl. I originally wanted to be a artist. I've always loved music. I've always loved dancing. That was pretty much my first love. So I always knew like that was something that actually brought me to the stage. But actually, once I got to the stage, I would always find myself trying to inspire people, or, you know, be able to, you know, talk to them about how to, you know, do great things, or just like be able to get into different topics and things like that. I kind of find myself almost being like a teacher.
Yeah.
So, but I was always drawn to entertainment. Like even as like a young girl, I would always know what was happening. I would know who was coming out with the latest fashion, or, you know, what was going on in the world, or, you know, who was, you know, dating. I always knew that because I was always like drawn to it, you know. And then when I was in high school, I used to watch BET and MTV every single day. And I'm like, I want to be a VJ one day. I'm going to have the mic and I'm be like, y'all, what's up? It's Neema Skye. She girl on the mic. What y'all doing? Holding it down, 6 p.m. We got to get ready to have this big concert. 106 in Park, all those things really inspired me.
Yep.
And I always wanted to be, I always wanted to be free.
Yeah.
I wanted to be free. I wanted to be la. I was always drawn to that just automatically. And I came to Los Angeles, you know, to pursue entertainment. And then I ended up getting an injury, and my life, you know, completely changed. And I was just like, wait a minute. I'm like, so I'm supposed to be doing something else. So at the time, I wasn't thinking about hosting. I wasn't thinking about being on set, you know, in terms of, you know, doing my media or anything like that. After that, it's like I went through a complete journey of just discovering myself and being able to find all of these different talents, you know? Like literally. And it was just like, I remember I had an opportunity to be able to work for AfterBuzz and Black Hollywood Live. And I was like, listen, I was like, all right, God. I was like, I don't know nothing about this whole mic thing. Cause it had been so, again, I was so focused on being an artist, and I was like, it literally went out the door, right? So I was like, okay, God, listen, if this is what you want me to do, because we basically had to audition again. I said, listen, if this is what you want me to do, I said, I'm going to make this video. And I literally had to talk about something for 5 minutes. I talked about my favorite TV show. And I talked about Insecure for 5 minutes. And I was like, all right, I'm going to submit this tape. I submitted the tape. And then next thing you know, they're like, welcome. And then after that, a friend of mine she actually had someone in DC who had her own media company, and she was looking for a media correspondent. And I was just like, okay, it's like, sure. So I did it and got on the red carpet, and it was just like, literally, like, you would have thought I've been doing red carpets for 20 years because I was literally working the room. I was in the front, I was hearing it, and it was just like,
naturally,
it, you know, and it literally just came out. So again, like you said, like, how do you take something negative and turn it into something positive? Like, I literally took that injury, like the injury literally like changed my entire life and pushed me and propelled me into my purpose. So that's pretty much how I started. Like, that's literally that's pretty much how I got into hosting and doing media. I mean, it was always in me, but it was literally where I had to kind of go through and be like, okay, well, I turned around and literally, number one, the opportunity kind of fell at my lap. And then number two,
I don't think it fell in your lap.
Huh?
I don't think it fell in your lap.
I mean, I don't know. Because I wasn't even looking for it. You know, I was just like, okay, if this is something I'm supposed to do, then open up the door. And I think ever since then, it's just so many doors have opened for me, you know, in this lane. So, and I love it. I love it. Like I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else.
No,
So,
you deserve it, Queen. And it's Women's Month. We need to lift up each other. And it sounds like you had a good, amazing community of people around you to help steer you to where you're meant to be. And like every day is a learning process. Every day we're learning how to be a better version of ourselves. And it sounds like you never let the fear of that like hold you to the point where you didn't try to do the new things that you want to try in life. And that is like amazing and like strength in itself to me, because a lot of the times the fear is what captivates a lot of us from following like our true purpose and destiny. So definitely do not downplay that.
Thank you.
No, that's real. Okay, so let's get to just like how beautiful you are as well.
Oh my God, thank you, girl.
Listen,
yeah, you're beautiful.
Because one thing I did notice, like I've always thought you're beautiful, but one thing I did notice that you were making more clear in your like captions for your posts. At a certain point, you're just like you're tapping more into like listening to your body and like not necessarily spirituality, but like being more natural and just embracing your natural beauty. So whatever you feel comfortable with, this is a safe space of just like what like led you to that, because I totally resonated with what you were talking about. I was just like, I'm so happy for any woman that, because confidence is something I wish I had more of, right? So I was just like, I'm so happy like you post like your pics with like no makeup, no, it's just you, and you look radiant, glowing, like you could tell it's like from within, you know? What inspired that?
You know, honestly, wow. I'm trying to
start anywhere. That's okay.
No, it's okay. It totally doesn't bother me. I think I came from a place of being inspired to, my mother always taught me, she was like, nobody can pay you to be yourself. And at the end of the day, people want you. You know, no one can ever really get a chance to give you an opportunity until you really start to become yourself. And I've learned, I've been through so many things, right? And so I think that we're like taught in the world to allow like so many different other things around us to really influence how we perceive ourselves, right? But I learned like, actually, whenever I got out of college, I took like a year off, and I was just, okay, let me help myself grow into my confidence. And like, what does that mean? So, you know, because as women, we're taught, oh, hair, makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm a hair and makeup, I'm a all that.
Nothing.
But I literally had to strip it off and be like, okay, whenever you take all of this stuff off, who are you? Like what about you really makes you who you are? And my confidence within myself, and knowing like who I am and what I come from, and just understanding my roots and what I like and what really makes me who I am, allows me to understand that if somebody's going to fall in love with me, they need to fall in love with the natural person of who I am, you know, because that part of who you know, you really accepting that space of yourself, it really allows you to be confident. So if you are wearing makeup, or if you're not wearing makeup, I mean, we always want to be able to improve ourselves 100%. But I think that the true confidence is really knowing who you are outside of all these other things, because all these other things are definitely going to change. But if you don't start within the center of yourself, you know, and I'm not even talking about your talent, I'm just talking about you as a person, because a lot of times, you know, people can be talented for years, and then whenever that talent stops, they just shut off, you know. You know, going back to even, you know, with the situation with, you know, whenever I got the injury, I could have just shut it off. But I knew that it was just something more, you know, more within me. There were so many different facets to who I was as a person. And I took that true time to really dig deep, you know, do a lot of soul searching, you know, understand who you are, and like, you know, where you come from.
Things, and if you don't mind saying, like, what were some of those soul searching things? I feel like sometimes people just like,
you know what,
but like, what were some of those things? Was it journaling? Was it like?
I journaled. I like to listen to a lot of positive messages. I listened to Eric Thomas. I listened to Tony Robbins. And what I really did is, honestly, I had like a paper, right? I had 10 things I liked about myself and 10 things I don't like about myself. And then at the bottom, it was like the person that I want to be, right? So out of all those things that I put on that paper, I'm like, okay, in order for me to be this person, why do I not? I literally like went all the way through. And at the end, I realized that in order for me to reflect the person that I wanted to be, I had to really look within myself and say, okay, maybe the reason why I'm not successful, or I don't have this car, or I don't have this house, or I don't have this job, is because maybe it's something within myself that I'm blocking. You know, because I'm not really being honest. We always say we want change, but the first thing we do is cut our hair. You know, we lose weight.
Girl,
you know what I mean? Like, you know, we go get a man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we go get a Birkin bag or something like that. But none of those things really help us dig down to the depths of who we really are. So I think the first point was me centering myself in the truth, you know. And just really being honest with myself, you know, and saying, okay, this is who I am. And in order for me to have the things that I want in my life, what are the things that I need to do in order to change myself? And then once I started seeing myself, not for who I was, even though I may have, you know, even though I didn't like those things, once I started seeing myself for who I wanted to be and was taking the necessary steps to be that person, it didn't matter what anybody thought about me. I was confident within who I am. And I mean, you know, I think we all still have like those things that, you know, we're still running, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just super confident and I'm just, you know, I don't, you know, have my days. But I think the thing that really centers me is that I know who I am, and I know that there's something more beautiful about myself than my appearance, you know, and that's the thing that's gonna radiate. You know, sometimes, you know, we try and get off fine for these men, but at the end of the day, they'll pick the simple girl with the beautiful personality. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. I mean, I know I think I said a lot, but
no, like everything you said was so needed to be said though. Like I didn't even want to interject, like literally taking notes, like Gentle Storm said, like seriously, you're spitting those facts, like for real. For real.
Yes. So I mean, you know, so that's what helped me grow my confidence. And once I figured that out, it was just like falling in love and doing the things that, you know, I really, really wanted to do. It literally all came together. So
I love that. Don't like you're like what you're saying is so real, and like these are the conversations that people don't always tune in, but I know after, you know, get views and stuff, but it's just like like this is so needed, because even shout outs to Kish, we just had an interview and she mentioned to me, she's like, I've always loved your platform, but I noticed the switch. And I kept reflecting, like it stuck with me, and I was like, what switch? Like I've always been me, like blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But then when I really like reflected on it, I was like, when I look at the platform, people didn't really know my personality. People didn't really like know me. Like I felt like I was trying to be more like Forbes, or be more like, I don't know, like Rolling Stone. And I'm like, the reason why these people are like that is because they're them. Like I'm not that. Like whether like I do have a bit of ratchet to me. I do have a bit, like I have so many sides to me. And like honestly, one day I was just like, fuck it, I would show it. And I felt like engagement just started going like super crazy. I was like,
absolutely.
wow. Like so even like this is like the third time you've kind of mentioned it, where it's just like when you decided to like listen to naturally what you were gravitating towards, that's when stuff started clicking for you. Like I really hope people take that in, because that's what's been working for me. That's what's been working for you. Shout out to all the other queens that I know that's been working for. And a lot of the times, we get caught up in like being a people pleaser to the opposite sex or to whoever like we're attracted to, and it's just like, nah, you have to do it for yourself. You have to do it within. Like, yes, tonight I did my makeup for Neema, because I'm like, girl, I'm like
no,
I'm
girl,
like,
you listen, no, honey, your face is always beat. Trust me.
Listen,
I watch you too. I'm like, this girl right here.
Listen, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I have no ego and shame being like, I see women like you and you inspire me. Because before I
Oh
was
my
getting on
gosh, thank
live,
you.
girl, like I was getting on live like hoodies.
You inspire me.
Like,
I love this platform that you have. You know what I mean? I mean, like, just, you know, just for you to get outside of yourself. And I mean, especially at a time where it's just so much going on, you know, and you have a platform on social media, and, you know, you have so many different, you know, artists and people who are talking about things that we actually need to hear, because everybody has their own perspective about life, and especially about being positive. Because I feel like there's so much stuff that we go through. It's hard for us to find a way to be positive. So, I mean, you're beautiful, and this platform is beautiful too. Because listen,
thank you, Queen.
oof, it takes a lot.
It does.
It takes. I mean, you know, it looks easy, but, you know, booking guests and, you know, having them here and getting them to say yes and actually showing up, girl, listen. I have been through all of that. You know what I'm saying? PR, manager. It's like, it's just the IG. But, I mean, you know, you got to go through the whole.
It's
listen,
a whole thing.
Girl, listen, I'm trying to tell you, I have been through the stress. So I'm telling you, 100% Grant, I commend you, because it's amazing. And you're doing a great job. So let me give you your flowers.
Wow. 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 Like, wow. Well, thank you. You know, but that's exactly what it is for me. Like, I feel important. It's very important to say this, especially for Women's Month. Just moving forward, like, it's okay to say to another woman, you inspire me. And I love seeing you. And when I see your motivational quotes and everything, I'm like, you know what? I get myself together. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And we do, like, thank you. And we do have to continue to do that, because we never know how it can shift someone's day. And when you're saying that you want to be positive, when you're saying you're building platforms and reaching multiple people about these things, you should actually practice it in your real life, because people can see through that.
Absolutely. I think the most challenging thing a lot of times, as someone who has a platform or someone who people look to be positive, I think sometimes the challenging thing is we forget to take our own words. You know, it's like we always search for those words in other people or in other things, but it's like, wait a minute, you know, what about that inspiring word that you put on your Instagram post? So how are you gonna make that come, you know, alive in your life? You know what I mean? That, I think, when you learn how to take your own word and be able to digest it, like, that's when you're really, really living. You know, because everybody doesn't always practice what they preach. And I mean, not to be judgmental, but I just feel like sometimes, you know, it's so easy to talk about doing something instead of living it and actually being it. It is challenging, you know?
That's like me working out.
Girl, that's all of us, okay? I think every week, I mean, you know, since we've been, you know, going through the pandemic, and at this point, I feel like we're almost out of it, but I think every week I was like, okay, this is the last chip. This is the last cookie. This is the last Frappuccino with extra whipped cream. I'm being honest with you. Like, woo. Okay. I mean, you know, like, we all go through it, but then, you know, I like to have accountability partners in my life. I'm like, listen, sis, okay, so I'm going to tell you how many fraps I had today, okay? Like, I just like to know that I have somebody, you know, in my life who's saying, listen, girl, okay, what do we do today? You know, I mean, because sometimes you do. Everybody needs their spotters. So, you know, I think a part of being positive and, you know, is all about the circle that you keep and the people that are around you, you know, because sometimes if you're the only light and you have darkness around you, it's like, it's so easy to fall. So I think that's, you know, I think that's another positive thing, you know, also too, in building confidence, you know, within yourself, is also being able to compliment other people, you know, because when you're confident within yourself and you give other people compliments, it's easy to be able to radiate who you are, you know, because there's no ill will, like, you know, you don't feel intimidated by anybody else, you know, because you can be able to be like, oh my God, they're beautiful, or they're this or they're that. I feel like sometimes when we have problems doing that, then that kind of, you know, shows that maybe there's something within ourselves that, you know, we may need to be able to grow in so that we can be more confident. So
no, it's so needed. So here in downtown, and I'm sure you see it on my personal page as well, like, we have a saying, eat fruit, mind your business. It's a serious lifestyle, okay?
Yes.
Okay? Because when we say fruit, yes, I mean it in the physical sense, where it's great for your skin, it's great for your yoni, all the things, you know, but fruit in a spiritual sense as well, meaning like,
yes,
how rappers have like bars, we got fruit, you know, and you've given so much fruit today. But I will ask you, you know, if you did have some more fruit that you wanted to share, to say like, this is something you need to know to an up and coming young lady, young man, young person that just is aspiring to follow their voice and walk in their purpose, like, what would you say?
The biggest thing that I would say is follow your heart. Like, follow that dream that you have, like that vision that you see whenever you wake up in the morning, like that one thing that keeps nugging at you. And a lot of times we feel like we want to tell, I want to tell people my dreams or this and that. And sometimes you have to keep it between you and God, you know, and just and just say, okay, God, lead me with this gift. I have a vision to, you know, be a writer or a rapper or whatever it may be, a makeup artist or a fashion designer, you know. Allow yourself to be in a space to be able to create, you know, focus solely on what that is. Because a lot of times we always say, I want to be this, I want to be that. Study it, you know what it is, you know, forwards and backwards, you know, pray, ask God to guide you. Seat yourself around people who are doing the things that you want to do and who are open to teaching you those things. Yeah. And never give up. I don't care how many days, how many weeks, how many people do or don't, you know, always be confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. Always. You know, I mean, even if, you know, you have a platform and it's only 5 people, talk like you have 5 million. You know, I heard Doja Cat the other day said that whenever she first started out, she was making her own beats. And at first she had 5 people in her room, and then it went from 5 to 50. Then it went from 50 to 100, and then it went from 100 to 500. You know, I think it's set your intentions on what you want. Yeah. Not what you see, but set your intentions on what you want, you know. Set your intentions.
Can we hold up for the bars though?
Set your intentions on what you want, not what you see. That's the word that I'm gonna leave because
I'm gonna write this down in real time. Just give me a minute here, okay?
I know I said a lot, but it's like set your intentions on what you want, not what you see. And honestly, that'll be something that will guide you through. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't know how many times I've manifested things in my life where I've wrote it down and I said, I'm going to have this and I'm going to do this. And I was literally very intentional, you know, from the things that I said, the way that I acted, you know, the things that I did, everything centered around in order for me to make room for that thing that I said that I wanted, right? You got to be able to make room for it, you know, like if you say you want to be this big time TV host, like, what do you need to do, you know, to get, you know, I'm gonna give you a little tidbit, right? Sometimes what I'll do it in the mornings, I'll get a newspaper and I'll sit it in front of me, and I spend 5 minutes a day, and I will read it just as if I'm sitting in front of a camera and I'm covering news or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any studio, right? But I'm doing that because I know that at some point I'm going to have my own show, and it's going to be people watching me, and they're going to be, you know what I mean? Like, it's those little small things when nobody else is watching you, you know, late at night when nobody can see anything is what God is going to multiply, and he's going to highlight in front of everybody. You know, like we see Beyonce, like for instance, Beyonce said, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old when nobody even knew who I was. Everybody knew Whitney Houston, and they knew, you know, Madonna and all these other people who came before her, but nobody knew her. And now we look at Beyonce, she's 39, almost 40. You know, it took her 20, 30, you know, 30 years to just even get to the place where she is. But I think it's in those tidbit moments when I feel like when we don't see people getting into what we're doing, or, you know, we don't get the applause, and, you know, people are not telling us, oh, you're doing a good job. That's when we lose heart. And that's when we stop and we give up, and we feel like, but it's in those moments, whatever you do when nobody's watching, when somebody finally does watch you, that's what's going to take you to the next level.
Facts.
I
And
know
I
I said a lot,
remember,
but I mean.
no, it's fine. I remember, like, even when I was younger and I used to take band, like, that's something my band teacher would always say, like, what you practice now, whatever bad habits or stuff you practice now, when it comes show time, you're not just gonna. Some people, yes, may flawlessly, but whatever you practice, that's what will come out come game time. So like,
Right.
fruit,
Yeah.
fruit.
Yes.
I had to let it like clear out a bit. Like that was. Oh, I feel like you were stripping the layers back on me, like. But it's very needed to be said, and thank you so much for your transparency. Now, another
Absolutely.
staple question that we do ask here at Downtown is you have the four elements. You have earth, water, air, and fire.
Oof, girl.
Which element do you feel like represents you or you resonate with the most, and why?
Fire. First of all, fire. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a Sagittarius, okay? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I am fire. And a lot of times people feel like fire is like, it's like, oh, it's going to burn you. No. I think fire is really something that really ignites and pushes you. You know, like it's something that compels you. And I resonate with fire because in every area of my life, it is so difficult for me to just barely put something into it. Like if I'm going to do something, I have to do it all. I have to do it all. Like I have to just literally like be so aggressive and so assertive so that I can be able to get exactly what I want. So I resonate with fire because I'm a fire sign. So, you know, I mean,
what is your birthday?
December 18th.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, but honestly, like I do know how to be water in certain situations and air, you know. I do, but fire all day.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, one of my a conversation that stuck with me a lot is a couple of months ago I did an interview with this lady Taiwood, shout outs to her, and we were having a conversation. She had chosen fire as well as her element, you know, and we were talking about like, well, I brought up to her the process of making like gold, right? And when you look at
Have
it,
to burn
like,
it.
it's literally submerged in like fire. But when it comes out,
It's beautiful.
shining, it's beautiful, it looks unscathed, it looks perfect. And Neema, you are pure gold queen.
Oh, thank you.
We are like listen. We are though, because we've been through it, and
oh, honey.
we
Let me
look
tell you.
so pretty. We look so, but people they don't know the work that you had to put in on the inside to get what people see on the outside today.
Absolutely. I had to have a lot of ugly days in order to be pretty, you know? Listen. Oof. Okay, I'm not gonna preach today because you didn't ask me for all
You
that.
preaching already. I'm in the church. I'm in the church at the front of the altar already.
Listen, girl, okay? Look, I'm about to run.
Listen, laps around the church. I'm telling you. No, seriously, like, it's so needed. It's so needed, and it's so refreshing to just speak to other queens that had this mentality, because these are the people like yourself that we need at the forefront that is giving these takes, giving these opinions, so that, you know, while we like Sarah and Becky and all the things, I like to see my favorite cousin Neema on the screen, killing it, saying things that I can understand, relate to, and just helping to push things forward, not in a tacky way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and it's all about, I think that we all have our own individual ways or the things that we're supposed to do to be able to push our culture forward. You know, like sometimes, you know, we feel like, oh, well, we don't know or we may not have, but the one thing that you do every single day, it's definitely pushing culture forward, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And we always have to be aware of that. Always have to be aware.
Naturally, or whether we decide not to.
Absolutely.
So I want to also ask you, now I see that you have been working on and slowly letting people know about Skye Beauty.
And Skye Beauty.
Neema, sorry?
No. I said in Skye Beauty.
Yes, in Skye Beauty. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what like, I know earlier you mentioned it a bit, but now, like, if you can extend it a bit for people, like, I know you love beauty and what made you decide to incorporate that and put it as like a business and something that like you want to work on?
You know, honestly, I kind of started out because I got into makeup because I wanted to do makeup as as a creative outlet, because I was dancing and always creating. I wanted to do makeup, you know, to kind of help me get into that. And then after I got into it, I was super inspired by it. And my grandmother had passed away not too long after that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm like, my grandmother has always been a person who's always taught us to take something with our hands, like whatever gift we have, and be able to multiply it and be able to, you know, bless other people with it. Like, how can you take this, bless your family, and be able to bless other people? And I was just like, after that, I just really started to thinking about, I want to be able to have legacy. I want to be able to be known for something in the world. I want to be able to contribute to my family, but also at the same time, I want to be able to contribute to culture. So I was just like, I love makeup. And I'm like, okay, well, let me kind of start like in a space of, you know, being able to, you know, start doing faces. So I slowly kind of transitioned into working for makeup companies, and then, you know, start trying to do it for myself. And I did it for myself for a little bit, but then I started to realize, there's these other gifts and talents that I had. So I wanted to basically translate that into be able to creating my own product. Because I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm always going to be Neema. So I wanted to create that. So it's like, now it's like I have Skye Productions and I have Skye Beauty. So pretty much everything that I do has Skye, because I want to be able, you know, just like Oprah, she has her name on everything.
All the
Absolutely.
things.
So, you know, I do love makeup. I am a makeup girl. I love skincare. So I am going to be releasing my lashes. It's been a long time coming, honey. It's been a long time.
Girl, your lashes are always, I cannot wait to support, because
thank you.
Listen, we're working anyways. We need the things.
Listen,
so come on with it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's starting off as a lash company, but I have a lot of other things that I want to be able to incorporate. But basically, that's where Skye Beauty came from. I always have a story behind everything. So, you know, it literally came from me just, you know, wanting to be able to get more creative. And as I got more into it, I wanted to be able to show forth my creative side, and, you know, how I wanted to be able to, you know, allow women, because I feel like there's two things. A girl always needs a popping lip and a popping lash. So that's why, you know, I came up with the idea of Beauty Made Flawless.
That's so true. No, I love it. And it's exciting. And that's very important. I hope people are listening. Yes, we may have a lot of ideas, like when we're growing or starting a business, but doesn't mean you put out like all 5 things at once all the time. You have to play it smart. And even though it's what you want to do, it doesn't mean that's how it should be done. Right?
Yes. I mean, listen, it's... That's the thing. Like, sometimes we want to start, but we think about, especially me, because I'm like a dreamer. I'm such a visionary person. So when I start doing something, my idea is that I want to be able to do like this big thing, right? But it's not the big thing. It's the small things. Like, if you can be faithful with the smallest things, then it will grow and manifest into bigger things, you know? So it's like, if you want to start your business, just start it, even if it's $500. Like, just start right there. And I mean, like, if you really listen to everybody's story behind what they do, they started out with this small bit. I've never heard anybody say, and I don't care how much money they have or whatever they have access to, they didn't start out with the big thing. They started out with the small thing, and then they took that and then they grew it, you know? So just start where you are, just like I'm doing, you know, my show. I'm starting right where I am, and I'm just multiplying it and allowing it to grow from here to a bigger platform.
Yeah, I love that for you, and that is great advice. So I hope everyone hears. Now, I will want to ask you, Neema, if you were given the choice to get any superpower in the world for 24 hours, what superpower would you choose and why?
I'm thinking of so many different other things, but the first thing that's coming to my mind is probably flying. Why? I mean, I don't know. I don't even really know if flying is really a superpower. I have no idea.
It is a superpower. We can't fly right now.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a bird can fly, but I just don't know if that's necessarily a superpower. But honestly, I'm kind of infatuated with birds. Like, I love birds. Like, I think the eagle is one of my most favorite birds out of all people. And I think it's just because, you know, they like to glide through like opposition, you know? And I think that as a human, because I feel like flying is a superpower for us, because that's something
Mm-hmm.
that we can't do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I would probably want to do that, just to have an opportunity to just be able to be. I feel like, because whenever whenever you're flying, you can kind of like, it doesn't take you that long to get to where you want to be, but you can kind of like just kind of glide through things. And I think that that's probably the superpower that I would want to, because I know that I have the ability to be able to go to different levels in like different altitudes. I don't know. That's
Where's
just what
one
I'm
of the
thinking.
first? Where's one of the first places that you're flying to?
I think the first place I'll probably fly to is probably Africa, to be perfectly honest with you.
Cheers.
If I had a
Cheers.
superpower, I would fly to Africa.
Cheers. I used to say flying, but then I asked someone, I had another interview the other day, and they said, is it teleportation? And I was like,
Mm.
yes, because I don't know the downside to teleportation yet. But think about it, you could just snap your fingers, you're in Africa.
And
You
just
snap your
anything just
fingers,
happens.
you know,
Yeah.
instead of like having to fly, go through the airport, all
So
that
it's
stuff.
just like you can snap your fingers and just be in a completely different place, which is
Yeah,
actually cool,
like,
because you don't have to get used to being in one space all the time.
mm, that is true. But you don't want to become a stray bird.
That's true. I mean, like, listen, you probably won't have a solid foundation, because it's like, I mean, because it's like as soon as you get tired, okay, next.
Right? Right?
Right. So you'll be instantly like, you'll have that instant gratification, which sometimes I feel like doesn't allow you to really appreciate things, but
It
that's just
doesn't.
me.
No,
That's,
you're right. You're right.
I
You do
feel
have
like
a good
that's what
point.
technology does to us. It's like, okay, well,
It's
I don't
true.
want to do this. I'll just get on social media, or I'll just make me a new hair, or I'll just give me a new arm, or I'm just
No,
being
for
honest with
real.
you.
That's real
I'm
talk.
just
And they
saying.
just like sugarcoat and not deal with actually what's happening.
Absolutely.
So, Neema, I like to let all of my guests, like, in case there's something that we didn't cover or
Mm-hmm.
anything that it doesn't have to be related, anything that you just wanted to say, get off your chest, or something that you need to say. What the mic is yours. What is that random or like non-related thing? Or if it's related, it doesn't matter. But the floor is yours.
What
Get it
do
off
I
your
need to
chest.
say? I think what I want to say is that I just want everybody to just be confident in yourself and stop allowing situations and people to dominate who you are and what you're going to be. That's what I want to say, because I feel like, a lot of us project a lot, and we walk into a lot of different situations with a lot of different influences of other people and other things on us, and even dealing with the pandemic. And I feel like at some point in life, you just have to learn how to be who you are, regardless of anything about life affecting you. So that's what I want to say. Just be yourself. Be who you are. Be who you're gonna be, and don't allow anything to affect you or stop you from being it.
Facts. Even if that means your parents.
Yeah. Look, I mean, with all due respect, please be obedient. If your parents tell you
For
to do
sure.
something, do it.
For
But I
sure.
mean, but if it's something that's really burning inside of you, like that dream or that goal or something that you want to do, never let anything stop you from doing it or being it. Like that's the reason why I started all that talk with Neema Skye. It was like I wasn't going to allow something that I felt like I didn't have to stop me. I ordered lights. I got my camera. I use my phone. Like editing, nothing. It does not matter where you are. Start
Somewhere.
start somewhere. Just do it. Like, don't even. I mean, yeah. You want it to be glamorous, but sometimes it may not even start glamorous. But just be you. Be you. And do what you desire to do. And then the people, the opportunity, the money, everything else will come. So that's literally honestly what I want to say. I just want to tell people to get into their rightful space, to be creative, so that you can allow things to be able to be attracted to you. That's
I love that so much, Neema. Like, thank you for your kind, like, wise words, because as I said, this whole conversation was needed. You never know who catches, and just needed to hear some of the things that were said today to know that they're not alone. It is not a straight line up There's
No,
curves, there's left turns, there's right turns, there's pit
absolutely.
stops, a whole bunch of things on the way, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's real. And that's what I love to have, real conversations like this. So to have one last fun question, you know,
Yes.
as you see on my personal page, I love food. Food is
Yes.
life.
Girl, I love food too. I
And
can't
I'm
I can't
so
stop
happy
eating it
that you love
sometimes.
food as well. So
I
I
can't
want
stop
to,
eating it sometimes.
you look great. Okay,
Oh,
so
thanks, girl.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, you got the meat in all the right places. Okay, now what did you eat today?
What did I eat today? Oh my
What
God.
did you eat today?
Oh, girl, you're in my plate. Oh my Lord Jesus.
Yes, and I
Okay.
need to be
You're bringing
all
the
up in your
country girl out of
business.
me. Okay. What did I eat today? Honestly, what did I eat for breakfast? Okay, so oh my God. I really gotta tell
Yes, what
Okay.
did you eat
Okay,
today?
listen. So for breakfast, I had a egg McMuffin. Believe it or not, Chick-fil-A has an egg McMuffin. They do. They do. It's called something different, but basically it was pretty much like an egg McMuffin with tomato. That's what I had for breakfast and some hash browns with water. I did not drink lemonade. I did not have Arnold Palmer, which I normally like to drink because I told myself I need to, start drinking more water.
Yeah.
And then for lunch, I had a salmon burrito.
Ooh.
It was so good.
What is
So
a
good.
salmon
So
burrito?
it has like cilantro lime rice in it, and it has like cabbage and this chipotle mayo sauce with like a blackened salmon. And it's wrapped up like, well, it does come with cheese, but I'm not a big dairy person, so I kind of got the dairy out, because dairy's not
That's
really good
okay.
for you. But
It ain't.
yeah, it's all wrapped up, honey, and that's what I ate with some tortilla chips. I did. I know none
Was
of that.
that it for today?
Now
What time?
listen. If you guys are trying to lose weight, please do not listen to that because that calorie count is all the way off.
Girl, bye. This
I
today
mean,
I had
I
McDonald's.
pretty much ate like 5 days worth of calories, but it's all good.
Girl, I had McDonald's today. Got a Big Mac with the junior chicken on the side.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and for dinner, I had some wild dumpling with ackee and saltfish and some salmon and oxtail. So we good.
Wait a minute, are you Jamaican?
Yes.
Yes, my best friend. That's my listen. My best friend made some oxtails last night, and we were talking about it. I was like, okay.
You got you a good best friend. Never let her go.
Okay, but I mean, I don't really eat meat. That's probably why, I'm able to keep my weight down because I don't,
That is very
I
true.
mean, honestly, and I
That
should
is very true.
but like one of the benefits to not eating meat is that you're able to keep your weight down. So.
That is very true. I feel like you did share that. Are you like completely vegan? Are you pescatarian? Like,
no, I have my days. I do eat fish. Oh, I mean, I have my days. Like I honestly am trying to stray away from fish just because I've read some things about sometimes fish do carry like parasites and different things like that. So you have to be very careful.
Fish with the scale, they say is good to eat. They say fish with the scale is better to like eat.
Yes, they do say that. But I like sea bass. I like salmon. I like shrimp, but I am trying to stop eating shrimp. Codfish is cool, but I think my favorite fish is probably going to be sea bass.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, so much flavor in it.
For me, it's snapper, and I can't like.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some red snapper.
Snapper's good. I just don't like all the bones in snapper. I feel like I'm digging through my.
See, that's where the Jamaican ass in me comes in because
I know.
Take out that side, take out the side, and we good.
Yes, it's like, listen, you have to prepare before you eat.
You do, you really do, or else
I just want to go for
really
it. I'm like, look.
No, I love that. And with me asking what you ate, that is just my like unorthodox way of checking in on you and making sure that you ate something today. Because it's crazy times. And a lot of the times as entrepreneurs, we could get caught up, forget to eat, overeat, don't eat it all. So after hours, like a whole range of things. So don't feel guilty for ever sharing what you ate today.
Listen, I was like, oh my goodness. Whew. But it's all good.
No, it's all great. It's all great. So Neema, I want to thank you so much for tonight. It's truly been like an uplifting, positive conversation. You're a true queen. I'm
Thank you.
excited
So
to
are
see
you.
Thank you. I'm excited to just see you win, keep winning and doing your
Yes.
thing and just uplifting everyone. I look forward to your quotes. And like, I wanted to ask you, do you write them in the moment, or is it like pre-planned? Could you, like, even when you're just speaking, it's just like filled with so many bars, like so much fruit. You know, you're just, you're just such a wise, like, you just speak so wisely, like
I give God all honor for that. Thank you. Because
but you know what
I'm
I
not gonna
mean?
lie.
Like, you speak like
I
a
do
senior
pray.
woman, but
Well,
not
you
like
know
in an
what?
old
Like,
way.
I do pray for wisdom.
Mm.
But I think another thing is that I've learned how to use life as a teacher.
Mm.
And when you open up yourself in a space to allow life to be a teacher to you, there's lessons in everything.
Mm.
And so
Very true.
I always have my notes out on my phone. I'm literally always like, there's always something that comes to me, and I always write it down. Or like sometimes I wake up in the morning, and I'll just wait. You know, like I'll be like in a real quiet place, and I'll just wait to receive. Or maybe I may have a thought about something, or maybe I'm thinking about something that happened the day before, or just trying to release my thoughts. And then in that moment, I always receive a word, and I take that word and put it on my social media, or I put it on my Twitter. It's actually gonna. I I don't want to talk too much right now, but because I do have a book in me that I'm getting ready to release very soon. But yes, but that's normally what I do. I just wake up in the morning and just kind of wait to really like, I just flush everything out. I meditate, and I just really wait to receive a word that's going to really be able to push me and propel me into my day, you know, my month, or whatever it is that, you know, I'm normally going through, you know, throughout my day. So that's pretty much how I come up with these different courses, you know, these different things. And a lot of times I'm going through moments in my life where I'm questioning things, or it's something that I'm looking for the answer in. And in the moment where I'm looking for the answer, I've already written it.
Mm.
You know, I'm like, and it's just crazy.
That's real.
Honestly, I'm gonna
That's
give you
real.
guys a nugget. I read this book called The Artist's Way. Now, I completely forgot the author.
The what way?
It's called The Artist's Way.
The Artist's Way. Okay.
Well, it's a very good book. And in the book, she gives you an exercise. So she tells you to write 3 pages straight, nonstop. In the morning, in the evening, like whenever you get in like your quiet space, just write 3 pages. And when I started doing that in the morning, like I just started writing out my thoughts, or writing or just writing whatever I was thinking. But I started to notice the more and more I was writing, the more and more I started to get clear, the more messages that I actually started to have, and answers about things that maybe I had questions to. So I think a lot of what I've learned, and then that's also something that I want to be able to share with you guys. Like, if you're looking for a way, and not even if you're an artist, if you're just if you have, excuse me, I'm sorry, I need some water. If you have like
do you
certain
have
blocks,
close by you?
oh no, it's okay, I'll be fine. If you have certain blocks, or like, let's say it's like a creative, you know, project you're working on, or like, let's say something that you're trying to do at work, or something that you're trying to get through life. If you just wake up in the morning, you know, and she teaches you how to at least like write 3 pages, like 3 pages in the morning. Because that's normally like the start of your day. Just write those 3 pages. You write those 3 pages, whatever it is. When I tell you it gives you clarity, I mean, like, I remember like when I first did it, and this was actually before I started doing like, you know, the Life Beyond Limitations with me, which is my little positive quotes that I do. Before then, I had so many blocks, you know, because there was so many things that I was trying to do, and it just seems like I was just blocked. But when I got up in the morning, I just kind of meditated, and just, honestly, my meditation was really like my writing, you know? And like, once I wrote it out and I got it out, and once I released it, everything else just came to me, you know? So through all that, you know, that's something that I definitely want to be able to share, because I know that it really worked for me. And once you read this book and you go through those steps, I'm trying to tell you, it takes the blocks off. So
No, I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And so what is it that you just write anything that comes to like mind? Like as soon as you
can write about love, like
no,
whatever.
you
It's just,
already
it doesn't even,
I don't know if you took
there's
it in,
nothing
but you already gave
specific.
me homework. You gave me homework without giving me homework.
Oh
And those of
yeah.
you at home, like I'm gonna try this. You guys be open to try it. First of all, I'm gonna make my list. I'm gonna write 10 things on one side
Yes.
about how 10 things I like about myself, 10 things I don't like about myself. I'm going to try to reduce that list because I do that to myself a lot. And then at the bottom, I'm going to write who I want to be. So that's one of my
Absolutely.
homeworks that I definitely noted that I'm going to try. And then
Yes.
two, I really want to try this. So you just write anything that comes
Doesn't
to
matter.
your
Like
mind.
you can write anything about your day. Like I wrote out my thoughts. You know, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
thinker. I think about a lot of things. So I just wrote out like I just wrote out everything that I was thinking. You know, and then the cool thing is whenever you go back and you actually read what you wrote. Now that right there is,
Yeah,
yeah. Whenever
it's a
I
lot.
started to read the things that I wrote, I was like, wow, like it actually kind of helps you see where you are, you know,
The
and
answer right there, like
it
you
gives
said.
you so much direction, especially like when I was trying to work on different creative projects. I mean, writing it out, and actually, that's actually something that they teach you in songwriting. Like it's actually called downloading. It's like you don't erase anything. Like you just write, and you just write until you can't write anymore.
Wow.
So it
So
works.
no, I believe you. Like I'm seeing the work, and I believe you. You got edges, you got glowing skin. I believe you, girl. I believe you. No, for real, for real, for real. So I'm excited to try this. And you didn't ask, but I might just like DM you and be like, "This is how it's
Yes,
going."
absolutely. Listen, girl,
No,
look, I'm out here to share love and notes.
no,
It's all love,
it was exciting. And I'm so happy that you said yes to me tonight because like for a while I wanted to ask you, but I was like kind of like nervous about it. So and I get
Why?
I'm just like that. Like I'm really like quick to feel like embarrassed, and I'm just like, you know
No.
what?
Not listen, girl. Let me tell you something. The atmosphere responds to your boldness.
Mm.
Now see, that's what I learned about being fire. That's that's
Mm.
that's one. I'm a very
Wow.
bold person, and when
Wow.
you're bold, and you speak what you want, of course, like don't be rude about it, but like when you're very assertive about what you want,
Yeah.
you get it.
You know what? That is so true. Because some of the biggest interviews I've gotten, like that's how it happened. I was like, who am I to be asking them? Well, I'm like, shoot,
Why
send
not?
email.
Why not?
Yeah.
Be assertive,
Girl.
like people always respond to that, always. So
Thank you, my cuz.
yes, you're welcome, cousin. Look, we cousins now.
Listen, you guys. So, okay, are people able to purchase the lashes yet, or is it still in the works? Like, how are people able to support you? Where can they
Yes.
follow you? Where can they subscribe to you? And if you're in the conversation or watching later, make sure you tap into the comment section. I'm going to make sure to tag you, and you guys support and follow Queen Neema Skye. Thank you.
Yes. So here's the thing. I do have multiple platforms. Like I have, the In Sky Beauty, Neema
Yeah.
Skye, and then all that talk with Neema Skye. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I know it's a lot. So the best thing to do, I'll probably just type it in here. But if you go to my page, I have everything tagged. So you can be able to go there and follow In Sky Beauty. You can be able to follow all that talk, and all that talk. When you get there, it'll take you down to the YouTube page. You can be able to go subscribe there.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of like, are people able to purchase into you in any way yet? Or are you still
Not yet.
working? Okay.
I do have a subscription link that'll let you know once we launch the store.
Perfect. Sounds great. So you guys make sure to tap in. You're following at, let me get the correct at name for everyone coming in. So at NEEMASKYE. Okay. And you follow her, and then all the links are in her bio. You are able to follow and share and subscribe and support this queen. Now, I want to wish you a wonderful rest of week, Neema. I want to wish
Thank
you
you.
nothing but true joy, wealth, prosperity, a
Oh,
happy
just
rest
speak
of
it.
like Women's Month.
I'm receiving it all, and look,
Girl,
and right back to you.
thank
Yes.
you. Like, thank you. We deserve it and more. As I love that people were saying like it's 2021, like with WON, and like it's our time. A lot of Black queens I know, they've been putting in the work. They've been working really hard to attain their goals with a true, genuine spirit and heart. And like we deserve to break generational curses. We deserve
Absolutely.
to make our family proud. We deserve to make ourselves proud. Like for real.
Hmm.
For real.
Yes, and we are. We're doing it.
That was my corny moment. So
No,
everyone,
it's not corny at all. No, don't listen. That is a bad word. Don't use that word with yourself. That is not corny. You're being yourself.
it's true. No, it's true. I do that a lot. It's like a form of backpedaling, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, because, like, see, you're speaking negative words. Like, your words have faith. Like, you don't want to walk around, oh my God, I'm so corny. I'm so corny. Because then what you'll do when you're not paying attention, you'll just walk around and in your head, you'll be like, oh, I'm so corny. Oh my God. And then it'll just, it just,
It's so true.
your
It
words have
snowballs.
power.
It's so true. Very
You
true.
gotta start saying I'm a boss and I write big checks. I mean, listen, if you're gonna say something, say exactly what you want to say, okay?
I'm a boss. I write.
I'm a boss. I'm a millionaire. Look, I do it all day.
I don't forget to do. I have a list. I have a list of affirmations that I do read every day.
Guys,
So like, it's definitely something that I know is seriously important. So everyone, this has been another weeknight's episode of Downtown World. Don't waste no time with negativity with me and Maven, Neema Skye. You guys make sure to support this queen. I know I said a billion times, I don't care. Make sure to support this queen, follow her, and you deserve it all.
Thank you. So do you. And I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm super honored. I love your platform. And I just want to tell you to keep going, keep being positive and keep doing what you do because I am truly inspired.
Thank you, queen.
You're
Virtual hugs. Virtual hugs. Have a great night, everyone. Please be safe as much as possible.
You
Be sure to
too.
drink your water. Remember not to waste time with negativity. Everybody eat fruit and mind your business.
Okay.
Have a great night.
Bye, you too, beautiful.
Thank you.